Buttons, buttons, buttons. Notion have introduced a brand new feature, and you've guessed it, it is called buttons. It allows you to essentially create automated setups with one click of a button. Today, we're going to overview what buttons are, how they work, and talk a little bit at the end at how this could link up with their AI strategy. I'm very excited. And let's dive into today's video. So welcome folks, my name is Francesco D'Alessio. I'm very excited to be taking you through Notion buttons, but we also cover a lot more productivity software over on Keep Productive. We're very excited to be bringing it to you today. So if you do want to, hit the subscription button below. And if you're looking for the perfect productivity tool, in the description, you'll find Toolfinder, a great way to find productivity tools. So let's get into buttons. The way that you can essentially get started with buttons is pressing the / command and typing in buttons. I did it wrong already. Button, there we go. So you can see that what they're describing it as is running custom automations with one click. And what's cool is you can sort of cascade actions. So for example, if I pressed a button, if I press this button, let's say create meeting note, and what I can do is set it up so it adds a page to, let's type in meetings, and I could change the property. So for example, I could add it as today, and I could add it as a type, which could be a brief. And finally, if I wanted to, I could have it, the topic as overview meeting. So let me just show you that as a simple structure. You can change the icon as well if you do want to. And if I press done. So here we go. Press that button, bang, it's done it. Let's go and open that page. Everything's there. It's like magic. Sort of like the old template button to some extent. The old template button is not there anymore. This is just an enhanced version of it. But this creates steps for you and goes a lot further than that previous template button. That template button was not great compared to this. If I go to add another step, it can insert blocks below or above the button by saying, I don't know, I think whenever these things comes out, people come up with wild examples of them. But you could say meeting created. And just keep it a meeting created like that, just as an example. So if I were to press create meeting, it's created a page, but it's added that below. So that's pretty neat in terms of, like, you could have it as a little log for you and your team to update new features or like things like that. So you can also open a specific page if that's something you want. So that's just probably something more structurally. But you can edit pages in. So for example, if I wanted to, new page that's added. Okay. So let me try and work out what this means. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so I think I understand that. So here we go. So one of the things you can do is if you set up that button, you can not only add it to a page into a database and edit the properties, but you can also edit what page you've just added or other details, another page, for example, like sponsorships, and you can update that one with relevant properties. But you can also add certain people that have clicked on the button. So it's really cool because the neat thing about that is, say you created a meeting and automatically you wanted to update your sponsorship or something like that, or a client or a CMS, that person clicked on it, that person interacted, and keeping it updated, that's something you can do quite easily. So that's a very neat function. I probably wouldn't link it to that, but you could, for example, have it so that the status moves from contract issued or something like that. And it has that knock-on effect. Now, one thing you can do up here is move the structure of this, but you can do that just by doing that. And the sort of other elements that I talked about is the inserting blocks, but opening pages, you can show confirmation. Okay, so that's quite cool. If you have a team set up, then you can have it so that if you click that button, you can be like, are you sure you want to do this? Which is great because some people might not know what happens and you can actually explain it to them here. So one thing you can do is be like, this will create a new page in sponsors and meetings. And then you could go, when I press that button, bang, it's clear and it helps teams to do that. So this is a really cool addition. Really does sort of take new steps to the next level. I'm not somebody who really takes advantage of this, but for those who are going to find setups and automation, this is going to be huge. Now, the reason why I think this is going to play into the bigger future, bigger picture of Notion is I think, I've talked about this before, the properties areas inside of Notion are going to become the future of AI for Notion. And I think this is also going to become that, a newly refined feature. For example, if it was like create meeting note and you uploaded some audio, I don't know, hypothetically uploaded a file, it could be able to just utilize the AI to automatically do multiple things for you in an automation process, but also start doing things for you in the background. So this is a great little tee off because you can not only right now set things up so that things are automatically pre-created for you. Like let's say that meeting note's done. You could then assign it so that the CMS is updated or your CRM is updated, and then it nudges somebody and it updates that person. So this is all very cool initial process. I'm using this terribly, but I think the AI is going to become a big element of this. And I think in the future, utilizing this function will become much more common and much more sort of structured. So I think this is just a starting point for buttons and its elements in AI, but a very interesting first step for Notion. So hopefully that gave you an interesting just first glance at it at least, and let me know if you have any questions about it. I will continue to explore and see how other people are using it in the space. Thank you very much, folks, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheerio.